What's up guys, Syiler here, and we are back with another Says where I just rant about certain topics that are going on, certain things that, are on my mind or whatever, that are mainly World of Warcraft based. In the last one we talked about has World PvP died, and in this one, I apologise, my nose is a bit stuffy because I got coming down with a bit of a cold. But in this one we're going to talk about, a few topics, and I'll put whatever kind of footage I've got available in the background for you guys so you've got something to watch. So, the first thing I want to talk about is, have the level 90 boosts killed WoW? This is something that seems to be going around quite a lot recently. That they've ruined the game, that the game is like unplayable all of a sudden, it's ruined the community, all this kind of stuff. And I wanted to share my views and opinion on that. So, the first thing is, oh, don't do LFR with the level 90 boosts, LFR is completely ruined right now. LFR was always like that. Look at it this way. If someone couldn't play their new level 90 character, then they weren't going to be able to play their boosted level 90 character. There's no difference. If someone is good at the game on their current level 90 and they boost a new level 90, chances are they're going to be decent. They're not going to be terrible. They're not all of a sudden going to forget how to play the game. Yeah, they might be a little bit uncomfortable with the new character, but they're not going to be bad. It's going to be a very, very rare situations where someone is straight up bad at their new character. If they're a good player anyway. So the shift doesn't really change, but I've done 2 LFRs. I went and did LFR the first week. Pardon me. I did LFR last week, just as the level 90s came in. Just before reset. And I did LFR this week. And the main thing I noticed was that it wasn't people being bad. It was these players who feel they have this pedestal to stand on above the boosted level 90 players. Like, I'm used to going into LFR and having people doing like 20k DPS, people running into fire. I'm prepared for that. Going into LFR, I am prepared for some guy, keyboard turning in fire, running around and then killing the raid. That is normal. That is something I've come to expect because a lot of people do LFR because they've never raided before. It's something that I just, you expect. But all of a sudden, because the level 90 boost thing is out, anyone who makes a mistake, oh, boosted 90 scrub. What? No, they're just doing LFR. Like, this is something you should come to expect. What? So people are just firing off these, like reasons that these players aren't doing well because they boosted the level 90. That's the reason, that's why all of a sudden LFR is bad. No, LFR was always like that. LFR is a gateway. LFR is somewhere where people who, either, it's for 2 reasons. LFR is for gearing new characters, and a chance for people who don't normally raid to see the raid content. Those are 2 pretty big groups. The first group is going to contain the people who haven't raided before. And it's also going to contain the people who have raided before, who want to level and want to gear and alt. The second group is going to contain people who have never raided before and aren't geared. So you have to go into LFR expecting people to not be very good. And as a good player, you should be willing to accept that and play as best as you can so you can carry and help those people out. I went on Psyduck, my enhanced shaman, for the first week. And I was doing like 50% of the damage, but I was okay with that because I'd come to, I'd gone in there trying to help someone out do LFR. That was my purpose. That's why I went on Psyduck, because I know he's geared. I know I can carry people. And then the second week, I went on alt, and you just play as best as you can and do what you can. And if you wipe, that's why the determination buffs in there. You get like 4 or 5 stacks. The boss becomes a joke. Like, I don't know, people all of a sudden, like, that was happening before the level 90 boost. Determination was going up, the Siege of Orgrimmar fights aren't essentially easy, quote-unquote, for someone who's never done them before, there's a lot of crazy things that can kill you in Siege of Orgrimmar. It's not like, stand still and just hit the boss. There's still mechanics going on, still stuff that can kill you and kill everyone else. So the fact that people are just blaming people being level 90 boosts is really sad, because it's not the people who have boosted, it's the normal people, the people who are meant to be these, like, good players. They're the ones currently, in my opinion, that are ruining the game. Like, these people need to step off the little pedestal that, oh, I'm not boosted 90, I know what I'm doing. Well, help out the people who are, you know, do your best. Carry them. That's what you're in LFR for. If you're a good player, you're there to carry people, let's be real. So, I don't know. I really, really don't feel the level 90s have ruined the game. I don't feel it's a bad thing at all. It changes nothing. I mean, it's level 90, as soon as WoD comes out, that's going to be irrelevant. People being level 90 will mean nothing, because they've got to level 10 levels, they've got to go do the Proving Grounds, and the next expansion Blizzard wants to make things a lot more difficult. We'll see how that goes. That's something the community wants, but when we get, like, really hard heroic dungeons, I wonder how long till people are bitching and they have to nerf them, those players that are like, oh, the game's too easy. They'll be the ones on the forums saying, oh, the game's too hard, like, ugh. I actually facepalm. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. The fact that they're bringing in Proving Grounds to make sure you're at a certain skill level, so they can bring out more difficult random group content, because that's the biggest issue. When you're doing random group content, the biggest issue with that is it can't really be too difficult, because you're not talking to each other. You have, like, imagine if all of your parts of your body were not, like, they did their own thing. Imagine how retarded you'd be, just arms flying in the air and your leg, like, kicking you in the face, like, you'd have no control. And that's how it is in LFR, or in 5-man dungeons. You're with a bunch of people who aren't a group, you know, you aren't communicating, you aren't working together. You're just a collective that's kind of like Twitch plays Pokemon. If you've seen that, just a load of people mashing buttons to achieve a goal. You're going to get there eventually. You're going to have to mash a lot of buttons to get there. You're going to release a lot of Pokemon. But, by God, you will clear that LFR. So, yeah. I don't feel the 90 boost are bad, and I do like the fact that next expansion we're going to have more difficult content, because they're bringing in these, like, requirements to, you know, to gate people. But they're making it so basically, if you don't know, they've said that the current plan of action is normal dungeons will get you gear to help you get into LFR, while heroic dungeons are going to be more like LFR-ish level, and they'll help you get into normal raids. So that's how it's going to work, because LFR won't be out in the beginning, so you're going to level up, you're going to do normal dungeons, get basic gear, heroic dungeons, and then you're going to do normal raiding. And then if you need some extra pieces, you can do LFR when that comes out. That'll come out like a couple of weeks later. That's how it's going to work. So heroic dungeons are going to be a lot more difficult. And the reason they're doing that is because they're bringing in a new Proving Grounds system. You have to be silver, I think it is, in Proving Grounds, in your specific role. So if I want to heal a dungeon, I have to go get silver. And then if I decide I want to tank, I have to go get silver and tank him. Otherwise, I won't be allowed to enter a heroic dungeon. And people are complaining about that a little bit, but that allows them to do more difficult content without people working as a collective. So, I'm okay with that. That sounds perfectly fine to me. The other thing I wanted to rant about was the fact that we're not going to see much for a while. I'm actually kind of scared right now. Blizzard normally makes smart choices. They as much as people like to hate on Blizzard and say they're ruining the game, Blizzard has one of the best marketing teams in a games company I have ever seen. They come out with some things that just baffle my mind at who came up with that idea. They are always spot on. Like, look at it in the past. Whenever a new game's come out, Blizzard have always been there to crush it. Like, no joke. Like, oh, Swatto's gonna be the WoW killer. Bam, new WoW patch. Oh, Terra's gonna be the WoW killer. Play Diablo 3 weekend. Like, they always have a backup plan. Like, they always have these little ideas that are gonna just crush this new game. This year, though, it seems weird. First of all, we still haven't seen beta. And we're in mid-March. Now, we didn't see mod beta until the end of March, so we still have time. And there's still time for us to see mod beta this month. But some things that make me a bit worried that we're not actually going to see mod beta yet. The fact that at PAX, they're only previewing the starting zones, and they call it an exclusive preview of the starting zones for people to play. PAX doesn't happen until mid-April. So if they're basing that off the fact that no one's going to have been playing the starting zones until after PAX, that means we're not going to see beta till after PAX, which means we've got at least a month until beta begins. That means the expansion release itself might be pushed back a little bit further, so that December latest release date that they've got going on could be real. It could be a legit thing. So that worries me a little bit because I'm already burnt out of content. I'm coming to, it's been 7 months since Siege of Orgrimmar was released-ish, and you know, I'm coming to the end of how long I can focus raiding. I mean, this past couple of weeks I haven't streamed, well, the past week I haven't streamed because I haven't really been playing WoW. I've been playing League and Diablo 3. And I know my audience enjoys WoW, so I don't like to stream those kind of games because people just come and they're like, oh, where's the WoW? Because that's what they used to see me play. And I don't know, right now I just can't bring myself to play WoW for more than raiding or a couple of hours here and there. You know, it's just because I'm burnt out. It happens. It really, really does. It happens to me all the time because, hey, I've been playing for, what, 8 years? And when you play a game for that long, you're going to get burnt out. It's just what happens. I just take a break. I don't really worry about WoW or whatever. I just take a break for a couple of weeks, get myself back in the mood for playing WoW, and then go back to playing WoW all the time. But at the moment, I'm worried because the burnout stages are going to get more and more frequent as we have nothing really to do. I mean, we've got at least another 4-5 months of this tier. I mean, once beta comes out, we'll have beta to do, and at least I'll have Reaper of Souls to play. But outside of that, it's like, Blizzard, don't do this Dragon Soul thing again, because the Dragon Soul period, I kind of let them off for. If you remember back in Dragon Soul, we had Dragon Soul for like a year. And I was done with it in March. I was done with Dragon Soul in March or April. I had fully heroic cleared Dragon Soul, 25 man, I'd got all my mounts, and I didn't care anymore. I was like, yep, I'm done. You know, I no longer gave a crap about heroic Dragon Soul. And then I had like 7 months of no more raiding, pretty much. No more progression content for me. I was done. I was completely done. I mean, it's not too bad in Siege right now because I'm only raiding on US. I've not been raiding on EU. And we haven't cleared Siege yet. We're up to Paragon's Heroic 25, so we've still got 2 bosses left to go. So at least I've still got progression to look forward to. But, you know, that period in Dragon Soul was really, really painful for me. And I was like, okay, well, they weren't really prepared. They didn't, whatever, they made a mistake. I can forgive them. But if they do it again, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna quit this game, but I'll be a little bit salty. I'll be a little bit pissed off, and I hope that they have a backup plan for that, because they've stated there's gonna be no 5.5. We're only gonna see a WoD pre-patch, so we're gonna have no 5.5. We're gonna have no extra raiding content. They've given the PvPers a new PvP season to keep them occupied, but what about the PvEers? I mean, maybe they're happy with the fact that not many guilds have, a good amount of guilds, but not, maybe like 10% of the guilds have cleared Siege of Orgrimmar, so maybe they're banking on the fact that the other 90% is still going to be progressing through it. But in honesty, I'm one of those players that after like a 7-month period, if we don't clear it, I'm kind of okay with that. I'm like, alright, I've seen this content for 7 months now, a little bit bored. Let's move on to the next raid. We tried our best here. Let's move on to somewhere else. We'll come back, finish this later, and I just want to see something a bit more fresh. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. I really don't, and I hope. Well, the cool thing for me at least, I should get WoD beta pretty early this time round, so that will keep me interested. Last few expansions, I was literally the last freaking person to get mod beta. I was so sad. But this time around, things should hopefully be slightly different with the connections and the fact that I'm now working for a fan site. Things change a little bit, but I still don't feel that's how it should be. Like I'm in a small group of people who are like, I'll be in a small group of people who actually get WoD beta early, and the rest are just going to be sat there waiting for it, and then they'll play WoD, and they'll be like, yeah, this is good, new content. So, yeah, I don't know about not having a new patch for at least 6 months. Well, maybe not 6 months, at least 5. Minimum of 5 months of no patch, or no, like, new content. So, let me know what you think of what I've discussed today, and I'll see you all next time for the next video. That is my rant over. So, hopefully you enjoyed my little rant. It's good to get out of your chest, you know what I mean? And I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.